welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited to be presenting you guys today with a presentation that I did on how we can be more productive as moms, because let's be real. Being a mom's not easy, and especially when we work at home. There's some really key things that we need to focus on in order to be more productive, get more done, and not be so stressed out. We all know that being productive starts with the area in which we live, and I can tell you for certain, after being a work-at-home mom for so many years, there really are some key areas that will help you to be more productive. It starts with getting your space clean and organized, working towards meal planning and prepping, as well as getting into a routine with cleaning. And of course, we have tons of digital things we have to deal with, so organizing our digital life too. So lots of great things up in this presentation. I hope you enjoy it. Grab a notebook and a pen and get ready to take some notes. And
hey there, everyone. I want to thank you for joining me for this special presentation of The Productive Mom. What I'm going to give you today is 6 strategies to help you get organized and get more done without the stress that we have as mothers and entrepreneurs. So the first question I want to ask is, do you ever feel like your life is going by way too quickly? If this sounds like something that you're dealing with, this workshop will give you the tools you need to lower your stress and get the job done. These steps are not painful and they won't take up all of your time. Sounds good? Then let's get started. So the first thing that I want to really talk to you about is decluttering your home. A couple of years ago, I started a group on Facebook. It's called Organize and More, and we've got over about close to 1,500 members. And the whole purpose is decluttering your home, because a lot of times when our homes are messy, our life is messy, and we just don't feel in control. And the thing is you don't have to live like this Spartan life to just be organized. So let's talk a little bit more about why decluttering is important. Like I said in just a second ago, it really is something that when you have so much clutter around you, it makes you feel claustrophobic, and like the world is like caving in on you. I know when our house is clean and less cluttered, everyone in the house is more at ease. And it's also been proven to reduce stress when you don't have a cluttered house. And honestly, like when you have an organized home or an organized space, it's actually easier to stay organized and to stay and for it to stay that way. And once you declutter, you'll have more space to deal with. And it's also easier to clean because you'll have less stuff like messing stuff up, you know. And then you'll also find that it's easier to keep the rooms clean, and less stuff, less clutter means less chances, less things for you to have to worry about cleaning. So how do you start? Like, it can be really, really overwhelming. And you may be in like, just to kick it all to the curb and like just throw everything out. But the thing that I really strive for in the Organize and More group that I have is that you really got to focus on just one room at a time. Trying to do everything at once is going to be super overwhelming. So my rule of thumb is to pick a space a month if you're dealing with a lot of clutter, and work towards doing one room at a time. So how do you decide? What do you keep? What do you toss? You're going to ask yourself these questions as you're going through the space. Do you use it? Like, if it's something that you use often and that you are going to use, do you like it? How often do you use it? When was the last time you used it? And do I already have 4 of the same thing? I know for me, a lot of times you get duplicates of stuff. So really jot these questions down and really take a screenshot. But these are definitely questions that you need to ask yourself when you start on the decluttering journey. The other things are you keeping it because someone gave it to you and it's important that way? Can you replace it with something smaller? And if you don't remember if you owned it, but you love it, and how do you fit it into your life? Once you start going through stuff, you're going to find that you have things that you don't like, you don't need, or you have multiples of. And then it's going to be easier for you to start letting go. If something's broken and can't be repaired, just get rid of it. If it's in good shape, but you no longer want or need it, donate it or sell it in a yard sale or on local Facebook marketplaces pages. It's a 100% okay to keep things that you love. Okay, so you're going to be doing that decluttering, room by room, and just going through that simple process. Once that's done, the next thing I really should do is set up a cleaning schedule. Now, I'm not going to claim to be like Miss Guru Fly Lady or, get it spotless house cleaning, but I have found systems that work for me. So a cleaning schedule and how does it help? There are certain things in your house that need to be done every single day. And so you have to identify those things and then create a schedule around that. And so, there's all kinds of free downloadables that you can do, and you got to determine what in your house needs to be done on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis, and yearly basis. I've seen so many different ways to go about this, but the thing is that it's very, very much targeted to each individual person. You could have one person that, likes to clean every single day, and others, where their house is smaller and they don't need to because they don't mess it up. So a cleaning schedule is really personal. And that's why I think that blank charts and stuff is always the best way to go when you're looking for a certain downloadable. But here's just some ideas for you to get going. Of course, washing dishes, cleaning up spills, all of these types of things, organizing mails, laundry, all of these are just suggestions that should be done on a daily basis. Weekly basis can be, things like mopping and vacuuming, washing the sheets, dusting, cleaning bathrooms, paying bills, all that kind of stuff. And then monthly, these are just some things to do monthly. Again, these are just suggestions, but you really have to start thinking about what fits in with your lifestyle and what you're going to be able to do. And then these are just some yearly or seasonal things that you can do. So then once you've assessed things that you want to do, then you have to see how often you want to do them and then assign a task and a day for them. And honestly, you don't have to, especially when you work at home, outsourcing things. There for a while when I was super busy with having smaller, younger kids, I did hire, a house cleaner for a while to help with some of those household chores, but don't think that you're less of a mom if you have to outsource some of these things. The other thing that you can do, and I find this very helpful, and I can't remember who I learned this from, but it was getting the whole family involved with a simple thing called a 15-minute cleanup. This is where for 15 minutes a day, every single person in your family goes through and does 15 minutes of cleaning. And it's just 15 minutes a day. So like, for example, they can do anything from picking up, stuff around the house. They can vacuum, they can help with the dishes, like whatever it is. But think of that. If you had 4 people in your house doing 15 minutes, that's an hour of cleaning getting done in 15 minutes. So really think about how you can get other people in your household involved in the cleaning. All right, the next thing that I want to just talk to you guys about and being a productive mom is meal planning and preparation. I can't tell you how many times that when working as a health and fitness coach, that meal planning and prep comes up as I'm helping people with their health and wellness goals. And it really is something that will help you to be more productive if you can find your groove with meal planning and meal preparation. So this definitely, if you find yourself not knowing what to cook, if you find yourself eating out more than you would like to, really coming to grips with some sort of meal planning and preparation plan is really going to be the answer for you to get into a habit of doing this. So meal planning. Meal planning is simply a versatile way that you can come up with the meals that you're going to be eating on a daily basis. And everybody's style of meal planning is going to be different. I'm going to share with you how I do mine. But again, there's going to be a lot of different ways that you can go about this. The main thing is that you have some sort of meal. I generally like to do meal planning for dinners on a weekly basis. Some people I know do meal planning on a monthly basis or a bi-weekly basis because they do their grocery shopping different ways. So you really have to come up with a way that's going to work best for you and what your family does. Then you decide on how many meals that you're going to plan. Like for me, like I said, I just do dinners. And then for breakfast, we kind of always just know we have different things, either leftovers or I always keep eggs in the house and toast and oatmeal and things like that. So there's different things to eat there. But so you decide how many you want to make and then sit down and you plan. You're going to try and choose meals that you know your family enjoys and are not overly difficult to make. I generally try and ask my family. I don't always get an answer, but I try and ask them what they would like for the week, and I try and at least cook some meals that I know everybody likes. Having two teenagers, they don't always like everything that I cook, and that's okay. On those days, they can fend for themselves, or have them a superfoods shake. That's kind of the option. But here's generally how I go about it is I sit down once a week and I figure out like what I have left from the week before as in my pantry and my freezer and that kind of thing. And then I will try and come up with a meal for dinner that includes those items. And I try and use up what I have left in the refrigerator, pantry, and freezer. And then once I have that done, then I'll go through cookbooks or meal plans or whatever I have and come up with the rest of the meals and then make my grocery list based off of that. And that's basically how I create my weekly meal plan. Sometimes I have meals that I didn't make the week before because something came up and whatever, we went out to eat for some reason or whatever, or honestly I just didn't feel like cooking. And so that meal will roll over to the beginning of the next week. So it's kind of a rolling dinner meal plan is how I do it. Then you make your like I said, make your grocery shopping list based on what your meals are that you've made or that you've planned out. Okay, so then another question that I get a lot is, okay, so what's meal prepping then? Like, okay, you've got a meal plan, which is what you're going to make. Now your meal prep is going to be the things that you do to help you get ready so you have less to do during the week. And the main goal is to make things easier for you for the rest of the week. And meal planning and meal prepping kind of go hand in hand. Like if you have a meal plan, you know what you're going to have, then you can prep some meals and prep some ingredients to go in those meals a couple of days in advance. So that again, you're saving yourself some time. There's several different ways you can go about meal prep. And, some people go all out and they do batch meals or freezer meals where they actually create the whole recipe and then freeze it. I've gone to workshops like that and they are very convenient, but you do spend a lot of time making, putting together those meals and that kind of thing. You can prep individual ingredients. So let's say that you have a couple of meals where you're going to need chopped onions. You can chop up some onions and then put them in, the fridge. If you have meals that you're going to be using, you're going to need ground turkey for. In two different meals, you're going to do ground turkey tacos, or you're going to do like a stir fry kind of thing. What you can do is pre-cook your turkey. And then so on the night that you're going to have spaghetti or whatever, then all you have to do is add the sauce to the spaghetti and kind of simmer it and cook the noodles. So the other thing that I will oftentimes prep is snacks. And that basically looks like pre-washing and portioning out so like fruits and vegetables and things like that. So it's like a grab and go kind of thing. And then the other option is pre-made meals. And there's so many different options of pre-made meals, but they are often a lot more expensive than buying your own ingredients and prepping them. But there are lots of different shortcuts you can do to help make meal times easier. I've actually done a whole workshop on meal planning and prepping. If that's something that you're interested in, just make sure to reach out to me. So here's a couple shortcuts you can do for meal prepping. Again, cleaning and chopping vegetables early, storing the fruit. The other is when you buy chicken in a big container, portioning it out based on how many chicken breasts or whatever you need for each meal. A lot of times we'll boil eggs to have for a quick snack, to have hard-boiled eggs. There's just a lot of different things. Roasting vegetables, sometimes that takes a while. So doing that all on like a Sunday, if you're going to have roasted vegetables. The other thing is if I have any homemade dressings or marinades and stuff, making those in advance. And so what you can really do is you can just take one day a week. Like a lot of people do Sundays, where they'll just prep a whole bunch of the stuff that they're going to need. You can do make ahead, like baked oatmeal. You can do make ahead, overnight oats. There's a lot of different ways that you can, make yourself more productive by doing this meal prep once a day or once a week. The other things that some people do is when they're doing their meal prep, they'll make enough. The people that don't mind eating the same foods, they'll make enough to have meals a couple of times during the week. So that would be like preparing enough one night to have for 2 nights, that kind of thing. These kinds of meals are good for that kind of thing. Soups and stews, doing stuff in the crock pot, chili casseroles. Those are all things that will go, like you can make a lot of and make them last a couple of days. Salads I'd be wary of. I know people have done mason jar salads. I personally have never tried that. But you have to make sure that you layer those in the mason jar the correct way so that it's not getting all soggy. And then this one is just talking about the freezer meals, where you can mix all your ingredients together and then freeze them together. It's called like a freezer workshop or something. Freezer meal workshop was the one I went to. And actually, I mean, it did help out a lot, like as far as like just being able to throw something into the crock pot or whatever. So they are definitely ways that you can save some time in the kitchen. Another option is creating full meals at the beginning of the week that are completely cooked. This is something that you can do. What I like to do is if I have leftovers more than what we can eat in a couple of days, I will actually freeze the whole like individual meals in kind of like containers so that it could be a quick and easy lunch to just reheat that meal rather than leftovers going bad in the refrigerator. So these are just some examples of some things that you can cook ahead of time and then freeze to reheat. And here's some healthy snacks that you can prepare early in the week that will stay pretty fresh. Granola bars, cut up fruit. Some of the fruit might get a little brown. So the trick I have is just to spit a little bit of lemon juice on them, and that tends to help them not get so brown. Veggies, cheese, vegetables, muffins, trail mix, eggs, again, hummus and cut vegetables, like those are some great snack ideas. The last option you can do is always those food subscription boxes. Again, not super affordable, but if you're in a pinch, I know I've had some of my teammates order them when they were in a pinch, had a ton of stuff going on. These are some of the ones that are out there. Again, there's so many of them that, just Google food subscription boxes and you're going to find a lot. Always keep in mind food storage safety when you're meal prepping, especially if you're dealing with raw ingredients. You have to make sure that you sterilize everything. If you're dealing with raw ingredients before you start dealing with fresh, So my suggestion would be to do any of your fresh meal preparation first, then, clean that up and then do your raw ingredients. And then make sure that you cleaned very well after that. Okay, I think we're getting to the last section of this presentation. And what I want to talk about is cleaning and organization with kids. I think one of the best ways that you can teach your kids is, to get them involved in the whole cleaning process and help them realize that, there's a place for everything. And I'm not going to say that I've been the best at this, but if everybody knows that there's a place for everything, they're going to be able to carry that on into as they grow older. So first things is organizing their school belongings, and then help them to learn to, declutter their own stuff. And I think they'll find that they enjoy, and I can say this for sure with my kids, that they do love their space more when it is clean. Do they keep it clean? Not really. So let's go over just a quick recap of some age appropriate chores that your kids can help out with based on their age and abilities. So 2 to 3, helping them pick up toys, put laundry in the hamper, wiping up spills, helping with the loading clothes, and wiping with a wet cloth. And they might actually think that's fun. Ages 4 and 5, here's some things that they can do. Again, with each age group, you're just going to want to kind of increase the amount of cleaning that they can do. 6 and 8, helping with pets, folding laundry, matching socks, wiping counters. 9 to 12, as they get older, they're going to be able to do more things. And 13 to 18 should be able to do their laundry, wash the dishes, take out the trash, help prepare meals, all of these things. I can say that my kids know how to do all of this stuff, but getting them to do it all, you have to ask a bunch of times. And that's just the reality with teenagers. But again, the earlier you begin teaching your kids to help out, the better it will be. And the main goal then is to just have them help out in whatever ways that they can and try and make it fun. Okay, the last area that we want to talk about is we live in a digital world these days, and you may just feel like you're being bombarded with so much stuff, and you helps to really get a handle on your digital stuff. So with the thousands of emails that you probably have, many of them are unopened. The desktop, your smartphone trash bin, all of this stuff are areas that we need to work to begin to get more organized. And so I want to just give you just a few steps you can do to help you declutter your digital space. So let's talk about your inbox. If you're anything like me, you probably have a bajillion different emails or emails coming into your inbox. And there's probably some that you love getting, or that are very important and that you love getting, but you probably don't love getting the ads and the retailing stuff and all the like bombarded spam. So what should you do? If you're dealing with work emails, you may want to create separate categories that you can drag them over so you don't delete important documents. Like for me with a home business, I have a email folder where I keep all of my tax stuff. Like if I have any stuff that I buy online, I have a folder to go to for that. So just creating folders within your email is going to be super helpful. And then things that you don't want, just move them in the trash, just put them in the trash. And you can also unsubscribe to any emails that you no longer want to receive. Delete extra pictures, delete multiples of pictures you don't like, pictures you don't care about, and then put the photos you want to keep on your desktop inside of relevant folders. This is an area that I probably need to spend more time because I don't have my pictures organized anywhere. I actually keep all of my pictures on a Dropbox. This basically works like a cloud space for my photos. An external hard drive I had on years and years ago, and it actually died. So I'm in the cloud now. folders that require regular cleaning, your download folder. There's a lot of stuff that gets downloaded to your computer that you'll probably want to unload. There's a trash can, that you should empty, just like you want to empty your trash in your house. You want to empty the trash on your computer, and then on your desktop. There's probably a lot of stuff you've saved to your desktop. I created this one background image because I work from home. And so I have a background image that has different areas that helps me, keep my desktop organized. So that's always an option to help you be able to find things on your desktop easier. And then also your browsing history on like computer searches and things like that is something that you'll want to keep clean. And then find time for relaxation and rest. It's the power of doing nothing. You've probably heard of the term self-care, and basically what it is you spend some of your time doing absolutely nothing at all, or something that you really enjoy. It's not related to, something that you have to do. You don't have to do everything yourself. Take breaks when you need to. Don't feel like you have so much to do that you can't take time for yourself, because really and truly you do need to take time for yourself. Decide on a time when you're done for the day that you can give yourself some time to spend, whether it's going for a walk, sitting outside, reading a book, any of those things, taking a bath, are going to be good for your mental health. And above all, we need to get rest. This isn't really a health presentation, but getting enough rest and actual sleep is super important for many, many reasons. I think the main things here is if you're often up with a little one during at night. When I had little kids, you really have to understand that you're gonna be needed a lot more when your kids are little. So lower the expectations for the number of things you want to accomplish, because none of us are superwoman. We can't do everything. Take naps when you can. Ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help, especially if you have a significant other. Asking for help is probably the hardest things that we do as women. But I think we're just wired differently in that, things that we want help with, we have to ask. And that's just how it is for most people. And let's wrap this up then with, I want you to think about the different sections that we went through in this presentation, and which area appeals to you the most and you want to implement one change. And so this will give you an area to focus on. Like, you can't organize your house and your digital space and everything. Like I said in the beginning, you can't do everything at once. You want to take small habits and start working to have and develop a habit of doing small things that we're going to work towards creating a bigger result. It's called The Compound Effect, and it's a book that I would highly recommend you read. And it just really talks about how, when you do something consistently over time, it's going to build and build and build, and then you're going to receive the results a lot faster. And you won't, you see results faster, you won't be struggling as much, and you'll establish the systems that you need to get things done. And that's it. That's all I wanted to cover, you guys. I hope that you found this helpful. If you have any questions, or if you want to get a copy of a planner that I have for this workshop, make sure to reach out to me, and I can direct you on where you can get a copy of that. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we will see you soon.